my friend Chris and his neighbor dog Gatsby. Chris is from Atlanta, Georgia, USA. He's 61 years old and has lived in Sweden for 27 years. He paints the most beautiful pieces of art and takes care of his neighbor's dogs.
Here we are on my balcony. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about some tips on painting tips that are cheap, are fun ways to paint. You don't have to be a professional artist to enjoy painting. I became an artist kind of by accident. I never considered myself an artist, but I've had some exhibitions and sold some paintings, and about 10 years ago I was diagnosed with a muscle disease, and I started having changes in my body where I could control my movement and my small motor functions weren't working like normal. So I kind of really had to change how I paint and my whole style of painting. So I started going more towards making collage and paintings with little dots, like Aboriginal art. And I've always loved Aboriginal art, so I make a lot of paintings with dots and more abstract art and little collage, because that works easier with my muscle disease. So today I'm going to show you a few things. What I have are things that you need. These paints you don't need, but this is what I have. I was lucky when I found that there was an art supply store went out of business a couple of weeks ago, so I was fortunate to get 70% off, and so that's why I have this much extra. But these are the paints I use. I paint with acrylic paints. I got some new brushes there, and there's some old brushes. I'm trying this new paints, these new emulsion vinylique French paints I'm gonna be trying soon. I have some fluorescent paints here for backgrounds and some sponges, because they're fun to dab with when you're making abstract art. And I have these. These are good for when I'm making my dots on paintings. I just open it up and I use Q-tips to make the dots. I just dip it in the paint and dot, dot. Anyway, the wallpaper is very nice to paint on, especially when you're painting with acrylics. And you get lots of different sheets here. It's all free paper to paint with, so you don't need to buy canvas or expensive books where you to paint with acrylics. They can cost you several hundred crowns for good art paper. So these are some pieces of wallpaper that I've cut out that I've painted on, just to give you an idea. This is some basic blue, that's not done, but these are all on wallpaper. And you can cut them into little triangles to make pyramids, or you can cut them into long pieces here, or to make like monoliths in a painting or something. I'll show you in a moment a painting that I have here with a lot of collage, so you can see what I'm talking about. But these are all painted on the wallpaper. I showed you this paper here. It's all on these. And this is another kind of wallpaper. You can see where the background design is a little different. From these pieces of wallpaper, actually this is a hard board. This was just a frame with a board. It looked exactly like this on this side. And here, I used a glue stick, and with wallpaper, I made the sky. That was one kind of wallpaper. And the sea here. And then I made little houses with wallpaper. Leaves in a tree with wallpaper, and little squares and little triangles. These are like little bungalows, I guess you could say. Little temple. I'm also, here's another painting I'm working on, I'm not done with. But with this one, my idea is that Here's another fence that I cut out, made a little fence there. This is also a fence from collage here. And this little, I guess this little Japanese looking kind of configuration here. Here's some trees, and in here I'm going to cut out little triangles to make it look like little bungalows in the forest. You just cut out different shapes. And here are different colors and shapes of things. So, for example, I think I'm going to make like a little bungalow or a temple out of this, maybe. These are just quick ideas just to give you an idea of how you can do it. Whatever colors you like, you can choose yourself, but something like this. But this could be like a little, like a temple kind of thing. Now I have these larger papers, and this is from that wallpaper. You want to make a sky, you can make a sky or the sea. There's the different textures with some darker and different shades of blue. And then here's some with some lighter shades of blue. Some greens. You just play with it, enjoy it. At the beginning it can look like this, but you just add more paint to it. Now, I've shown you some of the stuff we've done with collage, and as you can look down here on this painting, I've moved some pieces around, some ideas, and I'll use like some heft method to hold them in place until I decide if I want to glue them with a glue stick or not. This just gives you an idea of what I've been doing. Like this painting I made here, I call it Florida Bug. It's like night driving in the southeastern United States, and especially in Florida, when a bug smashes into your windshield. But anyway, here you can see a lot of dots I've made with tops, and some are dots within dots. If you come in closer on some of these, you can see that there's a darker dot and then a lighter dot, or first you have orange and then you have yellow. Anyway, the whole idea is to have fun painting. Use collage, use tops, make dots, lines. It's just like in the nature. When you look into nature, everything is dots and lines. You can look at a tree, like this tree right here. If you stand close enough to it, you see every leaf, individual leaf. But eventually, when you go further back, it just looks like a line or a dot. So all these paintings are unfinished paintings. This one's almost finished, but they're like 90% finished. But eventually I'll put a little touch of collage on it, or some dots or something. But the whole idea is that it's something to do when I can't paint. I can still use the heft mesa and glue it on. Just enjoy it.